U.S. Treasuries took down.
Listen up, rebels. Rebel leader here. Where the market's been on a downward spiral, it's obvious there's so much going on with Feds raising interest rates. The economy's still opening back up into the market from the COVID, and then also with this whole Russian debacle where they're invading Ukraine, worries and fears about World War III. And, with all these things, it's just basically pushing down the prices. If anything, Russia's getting the worst brunt of it because their currency, their value is shot down. It's almost like worthless compared to other currencies in the US dollar. So all these things have a global impact. And, a lot of them are not foreseen. Warren Buffett claims in the short term, in particular, US stocks are risky in the short term, but not over the long term. So that's kind of the approach that you have to kind of take in these moments. And to be honest, unless you bought at the very top, maybe 3 months ago, you're still good. So unless you bought at the very top, a lot of stocks are down 30, 40%, 50%. Hold for the long term. Hold for 5 years. It should reach back its value, if not gain value. And if you bought, last year when we were buying all these stocks, you're probably all right. You're probably either at break even or you're still in the green. And it's one of those things where you can't look at just the losses. You have to look at what about all the gains that you made in the stock market. And this is the time to calm down and not really, again, they call it paper hands, and that's when you lose money, is when you sell. You have to really understand before you sell, do you need the money right now? If you need the money right now, then fine, take that loss. But if you don't need the money right now, you should be trying to get either new money to either buy at these low prices in the stock market, or to take that money and invest it somewhere else. Not all of your money should be in the stocks. A lot of it should, but maybe some of it, you should have some savings. You should have some daily monthly expenditures, and you should have, some money to invest in yourself and your own business and whatever else you're trying to accomplish. Because again, diversity is key here, and you always want to have money on hand in case something like this happens. Given all this being said, and being in it for the long term is the key here. Financial Rebellion for now is going to be put on a hiatus because I'm going to be focusing on all these other projects, mostly some books I'm writing and some comedy channels I'm trying to do, and really build up an audience and a fan base and things like that. Whereas talking about stocks, it's good, but usually to see any kind of results, you have to kind of be in it for the long term. And especially in this weird time where everything's kind of just down, just keep your head up, really focus on different things. Don't really focus on the amount of money that you have in the stock market, because say it's like something like 20% of your money is in the stock market. Focus on the other 80% of the money. You have new money coming in every month, or at least you should have. How do you now take this money and make it more, make it something? Whether that's building your business, whether that's spending and going shopping. Kind of have to be smart about these things, and spending with experiences, friends, vacations. These kind of things are ultimately more where you should be making the money decisions and thinking about your money, and not really thinking about, oh, right now I have losses in the stock market. I hope that kind of clarifies a lot of things that's happening in the market right now. And I have the utmost confidence in 1 to 2 years we'll do get a quick bounce back, even by the end of this year. Honestly, it just depends about this Russia situation. There's a lot of negativity and fears out there in the business market, in the world, and supply chain disruptions. There's a lot of natural resources that Russia has, and if we're going to put sanctions on them and for how long, these things are kind of unpredictable. But again, that's over the short term. Over the long term, your stocks are a safe bet. And it's one of those things where even Warren Buffett, he claimed that, he lost money in the first few years of investing. Can you imagine? He was down big. But he didn't feel poor. No, he knew that over the long term that it was going to be worth something, or if not more than he had put in. And that is what it's all about. And he was absolutely right. You can't look at it after 1 or 2 years of investing and think stocks aren't for me. You have at least 10 or 20 years before you kind of start seeing the astronomical gains that these other people have, and really just learning about the trends and things like that. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I kind of wanted to also reiterate that, we are going to go on a hiatus or pause for now, because as I branch off to new projects that I'm passionate about, I'm still definitely going to invest in the stock market. And, my strategy has not changed. And you guys should already know if you want to check all the stocks that I do own, because I am holding them for the long term. And we'll see, we'll do a fun update in a year or two and kind of see where all my stocks are at. And it's something that I'm not actively putting more money into, because as I said, I'm building up some businesses. That's kind of where I'm putting more of my money in now. But absolutely, it's something where you have to make a personal decision whether the stock market is for you or not. And kind of, if you don't need the money now, do not take your money out, because it is the worst time. Any chart, any graph will show that. And then a year from now, 2 years from now, even even a few years from now, it doesn't really matter. Unless you need the money right now, don't take the loss. There's really no need, in my opinion, because unless you're going to spend the money, and only take out what you need if you're going to take it out. Don't take out all the money. Take out a few thousand here every month if that's what you need to do, but definitely don't take it out all at once at the lowest point, because that is just a bad business decision. Rebel Leader, over and out.